this lesson I'm going to show you how to draw the elevation in AutoCAD. How you draw your elevation, that is probably your front elevation or any other type of elevation. So I'm going to draw a front elevation for this job, that is the front. I'm going to do the front elevation of this job in this lesson. Now, to start with, this is my floor plan here, right? This is my floor plan, and I want to do the front elevation, that is the elevation of this particular portion. That's the front here. So I'm going to start doing it now. So the first thing I'm going to do is to pick my line tool, and then come down here. Now this is a bungalow, so I'll draw my line. That's the baseline. Now this particular line represents the natural ground floor or natural ground level. This particular line represents the natural ground level. So the next thing I'm going to do is to project. So I'm going to be projecting most of this or all of this information I have here, the window, the doors, and the walls. I'm going to be projecting it down here. So look at what I'm going to do. So I'll pick my line tool, right? Then I'm going to put auto, so that I want the line to be perfectly straight. Then I'm going to start projecting this particular portion. So I'll project this down. That is the edge of the wall here. I'll project it down. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to copy this. Now look at what I'll do. I'll copy this like this, copy it, click. Now project the edge of the windows like this. I'll project them like this, just the way I'm doing it. Now the next thing is that now you can see I have a door here, so I'm going to project this door, project this door. Now there's another window here. I'm going to project this too, and then now there's no window, nothing around this side, so I'm just going to project this edge here, the edge of the wall here. I'm going to project it. Now don't forget we have this column. There's a column here, and there's this particular beam around this side. There's a beam here and a column here, so I'm going to show that in my elevation too. But for now, let's just start with the one we have. Let's just face this particular wall here. So that's what we are trying to do now. So you can see I've projected the edge of the wall, the windows, the door, and this window, and the edge of this wall too. So let's go. Now the next thing I'm going to do now, this is the, like I said earlier, this is the natural ground level. That's, I'm using this as my natural ground level. That's this line, this particular line, right? Now from this natural ground level, I'm going to offset 450 as my DPC level, right? I'm going to project, or I'm going to offset 450, 450, enter, and then offset it up like that. I'll offset it up. Now what I'm trying to do is to create the natural ground level and the DPC level. You understand? So the interior level will start from this particular line, right? So I'm going to trim this, so I don't need this part and I don't need this part, right? Now the next thing I'm going to do now, from this particular level, I'm going to offset the base level of my window. So I'm going to offset this upward for the base level of my window. But now ideally the height of a building, the minimum height of a building is 3,000 millimeters. That's 3,000 millimeters. That's 3 meters, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset 3,000 millimeters. 3,000 millimeters. Enter. Then I'll set it upwards like this. Click and go up. Right. This is the height of a building. Minimum height of it. It can be higher than that. Probably if you are going for a commercial building or any other building as specified. So now I'm using 3,000 millimeters for the height of this building, right? Now the next thing I'm going to do is to show the window level of this particular job. You know we have windows around this side. This window, this is a window, this is a window, this is a door, this is a window. So I'm going to show the levels. Now from this line here, this particular line, I'm going to offset the base level. That's the window sill, the base of the window. So I'm going to offset it. So I'll click on offset, and then now the window sill from this base level to the window sill is 900 millimeters. So I'm going to type 900, press enter, and then offset it upwards like this. That is from this base level to this particular window base, that's the window sill, is 900 millimeters. Now the height of the window, the standard height of a window is 1,200. So I'll type 1200. It can be more than that, as according to according to what you are trying to work on. So I'm going to offset 1,002 upwards like this, right? Now remember we have this is a window. This particular part is a window line that I projected. The same with this and this too, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is to trim some parts that I don't need in this job. So I'm going to trim this. Don't forget this part is a window, so I'm not going to trim this particular side, so I'll trim this too. Now we have another window here too, so I'm going to trim this and leave this, right? Now we have another window here too, which is this. I'm going to trim that too. I'll trim this part off, right? Now there's a wall here. I'm going to trim this part up to off. So we have this window, and this window. Now don't forget this side is a door, is a double door, right? So I'm going to project this particular side, or project it here like this, so I will have a double door. So now this side is the door, so the height of the door is around this side. So I'm going to remove this level because it's for window. I'm going to delete that. Now from this height, this particular point to this point is 2100. The standard minimum height of a window, of a door. You can see from this point down to this point, if you measure it, you're going to get 2100. Let's see. You can see it. That's minimum height of a window, of a door. Sorry, that's the minimum height of a door, 2100. It can be more than that, depends on what you are trying to work on, right? So now we have this door here. We have our window. We have window. We have window. Now the next thing I'm going to do now to make my job neater, so what I'm going to do is to trim this side off. Remove this. Remove this. The same thing with this. I don't need this side anymore. That's the projected line. I don't need them again for now. I'm going to remove them like that. I don't want for this side, so I don't want it again. So I can delete this too. Don't want it for this door. So I can decide to erase this totally. Erase them. Erase. Then I can trim this side. Trim. Good. I can decide to erase this side too. Can delete them. I don't need them again. I've done what I wanted to use. I've used them for what I wanted to use them for. So I'm going to delete them. So I have the space for my window is here. This window too is here. The door is there, and this window too is there. Right? Everything is complete. Now the little I'm left with now is this beam and column that I have here. So I'm going to show it here too. Right? So I'm going to now the windows are not complete yet. So I'm going to complete the windows and fix the door too. But for now, let's focus on this particular beam and column. So the next thing I'm going to do is to project this column down. Project it downwards like this, right? Project it just the way I did for the windows and doors. So I'll copy this and project this side too, because we're seeing this part. So I'm going to project this side too. Project this. Now those are the column base, right? So the next thing I'm going to do now is to show the column base here. So depending on the type of style of column you want to use, you can decide to use it. So I'm going to offset from this particular point. I'm going to from the base, from the natural ground level to a particular point. I'm going to show the base level of my column. So I'm going to use the base level of my column. I'm going to use 650 millimeters. So I'll offset this. Yeah, I'm going to trim this side off, trim this side, trim, right? So I'm not going to, now the thing is that I'm not going to see this part anymore, because the column base must have covered this particular point. The same thing with this side. I'm going to trim it, so the column base is covering this, covering anything happening behind it, because you can see the column base is at the front here. You can see it. So I've covered that side, right? So I'm going to erase this, because that's for the column base. Erase this. I don't need it again because I've done what I needed it for. Now these are the two column base, right? Now at the top of it we have this beam. We have a beam. So I'm going to project the beam. Just copy this or move it depending on what I want to do. Just delete this. So I'm going to copy this just to show the point at which I have the beam. Okay, we have one here, so I don't need to project that anymore. I'm going to erase this. So we have this side and this side for the beam, right? So next thing I'm going to do is, depending on the height of beam, let's say I'm going to use the height of my beam. I'm going to offset, let's use 600. So I'll set 600 down like this, right? That's the height of the beam. And then I'm going to trim this side, trim this, right? Trim them like that. Now don't forget the column is not yet complete, so I'm still going to fix the complete part of the column. So the next thing I'm going to do is to now fix that particular side of the column. So let's say I'm projecting from this point now upwards, or let me do it this way. From this point, project it downwards, and I'll offset. So let me see the size of the column base first. Let me see. Size of the column base I have here is 450. Okay, so I'm going to use, see, I'm using 300, or let's use 225, and then set 225. That's the thickness of the complete part of the column. Then at the upper part, I will set again. I'll set 100. I'll set it down like this, just to make it look a little bit. I'll set this side again. Let's use 50. So I'm going to trim this side, this one. So I'll do the same for this side too, but let's get this one too. So I'm going to, next thing I'm going to do is to do the same thing for this particular side. I'm going to offset 300 or 225. I'll set it, so press enter, right? And I'll set 50 outwards, and I'm going to trim some part off like this, and this one. So I don't need this anymore, right? I don't need this too. Okay, so this is a complete column. That is, the beam is resting on this column downwards, right? So I'm going to remove this. I don't need them again. Well, this is just a simple analogy of how this particular front will look like, where we have the carport, right? We have the carport, so the car can park here, and then you climb the stairs into the building from this point. So this is the carport area, right? So this is the complete stuff. You can keep working on it if you want. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to complete these windows. Now to complete this window, what I'm going to do now, you can see the layer we're using for this window is not the actual layer we created for windows. So I'm going to select the windows, right? Select everything like this, and then go to the layer property here, and go to window and change everything to window, right? Now I'm not going to make a simple design of a window, so just follow the process. Now the window frame I'm going to use here, I'm going to use 50 just to show the window frame. So I'm going to look for the midpoint. This is the midpoint. I'm trying to create a casement window midpoint, so I'm going to offset 50 again. It's supposed to be 50 here. Don't worry, I'm going to change. I'm still going to match properties to change everything to the actual. So I'm going to extend this. I'm going to extend this particular side. Extend, and I'm going to trim. Just a simple window to show how to do your window. So I'm just going to, Control Z, move this particular side. Like this. So just trying to make it look neater. So this is a window here. So what I'm just going to do is just copy this, because they are similar. Then place it here, copy, then copy it and place it here. Done. Now for the door, I think we have a particular layer for door too. I'm going to select that and then look for the door layer. That's door layer. And then next thing I'm going to do is to offset again. For the door frame, I'm still going to use 50, and then go like this, like this. I'm going to change this, but let's for now let me just set this, and then match property, click on the green, apply it on the white, on the other white side here, and then trim. So I'm going to trim this side, so trim this, okay, and this side, oh sorry, okay. So this is done. Now there's a step here into the building, you can see it here, so I'm going to show it here too as well. So what I'm going to do is to offset. Now the height of this DPC side is 450, so what I'm going to do is to offset 150 as the height of riser. So I'll set 150, I'll set upwards 1 and 2, and the step ends at the edge here, so it ends here. So I'm going to close up this particular side and then trim this side too, delete this one, and then our step has a particular layer, so I'm going to select this layer, match property, and match it here. Good. Now if I want to show the nosing, I can show the nosing of, say I do a nosing of 20 millimeters, and offset and then offset. That's nosing. Some people call it nosing. So that's nosing. Alright, so that's a step into the building. And then if I want to apply some things around this, I can decide to do that. Like if I want to apply arch, so click on arch. If I want to add some bricks to some part of this job, so let's see if I can get one. So let's say I'm using this one now, and then the scale, I think let me increase the scale, say 20, enter, see how it looks like. I think let's reduce it a bit, say 10, and apply it here, I can decide to apply it here too, but let me just leave it this way. I think I'm okay with this, and then I'll close. Depending on what you're trying to do, you can decide. I can decide to apply it here too. Let's see if I want to apply it there too. Apply it here. Okay. Alright, so I've applied the arch. So you can see how I've been able to create the front elevation of this particular job here. You can see everything. You can see how to create elevation in AutoCAD. You can see it. You can see that I just projected with a line. I projected this wall, projected the window, the door, the stairs. Everything was projected with a line, and then continue in that fashion. You can see it. So what you have here on the plan is what we have here in the elevation. You can see it. So there's a projection method. Just follow the process, and you surely get what you want, what you feel you're supposed to get. You can see it now. That's how I have that. You can see it. The window, the door, the window, the stair, the column base, column itself, the beam, and everything. You can see the carport, right? Let me check the thickness of this job. Now the thickness, now you can see everything is looking too thick. So what I'm going to do now, for especially for the arch, so I'm going to select the arch now. So I'll go back home and then change the thickness of this arch change it to, because it's too thick, so I'm going to use 0.09. Then I'm going to match property, select this and apply it here. You can see everything is now looking. Now for this thickness, I'm okay with this thickness to a large extent, but for this side I'm not okay with it. I don't want it to be the same because of the graphics. So what I'm going to do now is to select. Now I have to break this particular job, because once I select this line, it's going to affect everything. So what I'm going to do is to look for a way to break this. So I'm going to go to particular to call break. Let's say no, this does join. Yeah. Now this is the tool I'm looking for, or I can use this. Let's use this, and then break this. Now you can see I've separated it, then drag this to this point, then drag this particular line to this particular point. The same thing. Okay, the same thing I'm going to. Okay, I'm okay with this side. So what I'm going to do is select this particular job here, this, and this, and then go down to this place and then change the thickness to something a little lighter. 0.35 is okay, please. Now what I'm just trying to do here is to show that this particular job is closer to me than this particular side is closer to me than this particular side, so it will be much more sharper than this side. That's the graphic. So that's what I'm trying to create here, if you can look at it very well. So that's what I'm trying to create here. So that is, this job is closer to my view than this. If you check the plan, you can see it. This particular side is closer to the front than this side. So that's what I did here. This particular point is closer to me than this point. Now if I feel this is still too thick, or I feel this one is too thick, I can still go ahead. Or if I feel this, let's say I'm changing this, reducing this thickness to, let's say 0.3. okay, and then I can decide to leave it this way. Please, I'm okay with it like that. I can decide to leave it. So now it shows that this is more closer to me than this particular side. That's just interpretation, right? So that your graphics will look better. So you can decide to work on this continuously and make it, but for this training I'm going to leave it this way, so you can see it, the front, you can see it. So that's how to do your wall elevation in AutoCAD. You can see how it's looking, right? You can put the line weight off like this, you can see, or you can put it on, depends. So that's how to do or to project your elevation from the floor plan, and then you achieve this. I hope you get one or two things from this lesson, and I believe you practice and make yourself better by watching and learning this. And then please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more from us. I'm still going to talk about how to fix the elevation, to fix the roof plan, or the roof on this, that is the roof elevation on this job. I'm still going to talk about that in my upcoming video. So please like and subscribe to get more information from this channel, to learn more from this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you in my next video.